As a legal professional, first impressions matter. But how do you start a conversation when you're not sure what to say? In this class, I'll show you the simple phrases lawyers use to break the ice, build rapport, and sound friendly and professional from the very first moment. This is part of our full legal English course for lawyers and legal professionals. If you want access to all the lessons, plus community support and practice, join us on our school platform. The link is in the description. Here is what you'll learn in this class: how to greet people politely, like, nice to meet you. How's your day going? How to start a friendly conversation at work. We call that small talk. You'll also learn how to talk about everyday topics like your daily routine. And we'll practice asking and answering simple questions using the present simple. Questions like, do you work here? What time do you start? All in clear, simple legal English. Let's start with a warm-up. Here are some examples of small talk. Short, friendly conversations people use at work. For example, good morning. How are you today? How is your family? Do you have a busy day ahead? How was your weekend? These questions are polite, simple, and help you build good relationships with your coworkers and clients. Let's start with two simple and polite greetings: good morning and good afternoon. We say good morning before 12 p.m. and good afternoon after 12 p.m. These phrases are common in legal offices. For example, good morning, Mr. Lee. How are you today? Try it. Good morning, good afternoon. When you meet someone for the first time, you say, nice to meet you. It's polite and professional. For example, hello, I'm Ted. Nice to meet you. Say it with me. Nice to meet you. It's a great way to make a good first impression. Here is a common question. How are you? It's small talk. It shows interest in the other person. You can use it with clients, coworkers, or visitors. For example, hi Anna, how are you today? Say it with me. How are you? Let's practice a common small talk question. How is your family? You can use this with coworkers or clients to be friendly and polite. For example, hi Anna, how is your family? It's simple and kind. Do you work here? This is a great conversation starter. You can use it when you meet someone at the office or in the hallway. For example, hi, I'm new. Do you work here? Repeat. Do you work here? And finally, here's another useful question about someone's routine. What time do you start? For example, what time do you start work in the morning? This is great for casual conversation with a coworker. What time do you start? Let's practice some greetings. I want you to match the phrase to the situation. Which one fits each moment? Number 1, you meet someone for the first time. The answer is B, nice to meet you. Number 2, you arrive to work at 9 a.m. That's A, good morning. Number 3, you start a friendly conversation. Yes, it's C, how are you? Say each one with me. Good morning. Nice to meet you. How are you? Great job. Let's learn how to ask basic yes-no questions in English using the present simple. To make these questions, we use do, or does, depending on the subject. Use do with I, you, we, and they. For example, do you work here? Do they speak English? Use does with he, she, and it. For example, does he drive to work? Does she live nearby? Notice that the main verb stays the same in the base form. Not does she lives, but does she live? Here are some more examples. Do you speak English? Yes, you do. Does he work at a law firm? Do they have a question? You're doing great, and these questions are very useful in legal and professional conversations. Let's continue learning how to ask WH questions in English, the questions that start with what, where, when, why, and who. These words ask for different kinds of information. What asks about things. For example, what do you need? Where asks about places. Where do they live? When asks about time. When does she arrive? Why asks about reasons. Why do you want to speak to the lawyer? Who asks about people. Who do you work with? The structure stays the same. The WH question word plus do or does plus the subject plus the base verb. Here are two new ones to practice. Why do you want to speak to the lawyer? Who do you work with? You can use these questions at work, in emails, or in meetings. They're polite, professional, and simple. Let's talk about when to use do and when to use does in WH questions. It's very simple. Use do with these subjects: I, you, we, and they. Use does with he, she, and it. Let's look at some examples. Where do you work? You, so we use do. Why do they need a lawyer? They, so we use do. Now with does. What does he want? He, so we use does. When does she arrive? She, so we use does. And remember, after do or does, we always use the base form of the verb. So this is incorrect. What does he want? No, we say, what does he want? This small grammar rule will help you ask professional, correct questions every time. Now, let's learn how to change a sentence into a question, a yes-no question. Look at this example. The statement, you work here, that's a regular sentence. Now, let's turn it into a question. Do you work here? We simply add the word do at the beginning. That's the trick. So we go from you work here to do you work here? And how do we answer? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Now, let's learn how to ask a WH question. Here's a normal sentence. You start at 8:30. That's a fact. Maybe you're talking to a coworker. Now let's turn that into a question. What time do you start? We add a question word at the beginning. Here it's what time? Then we say, do you start? Let's say it together. What time do you start? I start at 8:30. So remember, you start at 8:30 is the statement. The question is, what time do you start? Excellent work. Let's move on to phrases. Let's start with something you'll hear every day. How's it going? It's an informal way to say, how are you? For example, hi Sophia, how's it going? You can use this with coworkers or clients when you want to be warm but professional. Try saying it with me. How's it going? Next phrase, nice to see you. When you meet someone you've seen before, you say, nice to see you. It's simple, polite, and friendly. For example, nice to see you again, Mr. Cruz. Use this at the start of meetings or calls. Say it with me. Nice to see you. Not too bad is a very common reply when someone asks, how are you? That means, I'm okay. Not great, not terrible, just fine. For example, how are you? Not too bad, thanks. It's casual and friendly. Repeat after me. Not too bad. Same here is an easy way to say, me too. For example, I had a busy morning. Same here. It's short and useful in conversation when you want to agree quickly. Say it with me. Same here. Now the idiom break the ice. Break the ice means to start a conversation and help people feel more relaxed. In law offices, small talk helps break the ice with clients. So say it with me. Break the ice. Now, let's match the phrase to the meaning. So, you feel okay, not great, not bad. D is the correct answer. Not too bad. You want to say, me too. That's B, same here. You want to start a friendly conversation. That's break the ice. You greet someone you already know. It's A, nice to see you. Excellent job. Let's take a moment to review everything you learned today. First, you practice polite greetings, the kind of language we use when meeting someone at the office or on a call. You also learned how to start small talk with clients and coworkers with questions like, how's it going? And simple conversations about daily life. We practiced talking about routines, what people do at work, using present simple grammar. You learned how to ask and answer yes/no questions like, do you work here? And WH questions like, where do you work? Or why are you here? And finally, we looked at easy everyday idioms like, how's it going? Break the ice to help you sound friendly and natural in professional English. You did a fantastic job. Keep practicing, and legal English will become easier every time. And we know that learning legal English as a beginner is difficult. You can join our school group for easy lessons, live webinars, and a supportive forum, and start speaking legal English confidently. The link is in the description.